Okay, I got 7 o'clock.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order, and we have a quorum, so we don't have to call out our votes. So we'll just get underway. Does everybody have the minutes that Sean provided?
Yeah.
And does anybody have any comments or changes they wanna make? Nope. We'll wait for the professor down there.
He said he was ready.
You good? Eddie? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take a
Okay.
motion if everybody's ready.
Yes, sir. Make a motion to accept the minutes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Holly is not here, so we can skip the food drive.
Okay.
Okay, oh, somebody just walked in. We'll have to find out in a minute.
Could be.
DOD skill badges, Mateo, you're up.
So I forwarded the direct message I got to the group. I just replied to Michael's message from earlier this evening. I think it's everybody. Essentially, they don't have somebody who can come in person. Somebody else out there?
Well, that's the, right? Is it free?
Good, just take a
Yeah.
peek. I can't imagine somebody would stand there and knock on the door.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. Oh,
Hey!
I was like, I couldn't.
Stand up there.
I thought I heard something.
Sorry.
Hey, if you wanna grab this one, I'll sit
Oh.
next to it.
Oh, thank you so much. Austin's driving, so watch out, Sean.
Oh, no.
You could copy the minutes from the last meeting?
I did, I saw him on my phone.
Were you okay with it?
I was, yes.
So they don't have, so we're just talking about Skillbridge. They don't have a representative that's gonna come locally to any events we do, at least not yet, but they do have a bi-weekly info session for transitioning veterans to take part in. So I was thinking, for the event, we don't have someone yet. I think perhaps John, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, we could still pursue as a guest speaker, not a Skillbridge speaker, but for the flyer that you kind of were talking about. Whether we do a quarter annually or whatever the cadence is there, we could perhaps either advertise when the sessions are for Skillbridge folks, or we could just put out a disclaimer that they have these bi-weekly and, sign up on your own accord.
Okay.
I was hoping they would have somebody who could kind of come and walk somebody through hand in hand, but they said not, we don't have the capacity to do that yet.
So, was this part of the discussion for the meet and greet, or was this a separate topic?
We were trying to get bodies for the meet and greet.
Okay, that's what I thought, okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, well, so we had them on the agenda as separate
Right.
items, that's what.
Mhm.
Back up a little bit.
You said, what was the name of the person you said? Will be a-
John Santiago was the Director of Veterans Affairs for Massachusetts.
Oh.
So he's somebody that we could potentially get as like an attractive guest for folks to meet.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I was also hoping to kind of dovetail that with the Skillbridge rep
Right.
locally, but they didn't
Right.
have the folks to do
Okay,
that.
sure. Okay.
You all set, Mateo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take us to the meet and greet, and then we'll jump back to Holly.
Okay, I was trying to, as we had talked about, maybe getting it, not tied to, but geared towards, tax advising, or tax preparation type of thing. The gentleman, Dan, that, I believe his name was Dan, that Justin had reached out, he's the Prudential
Yeah.
rep, gave us a link to getting tax advice for veterans. I went to that link, I called a few phone numbers, and I'm not getting any calls back. So essentially, kind of been at a dead end for tax help, or tax preparation at this time. And maybe it could be the fact that maybe they're just out straight, or that it's not their purview. I think so. But I can't give you any positive feedback on that, because like I said, I didn't get any answers from anybody, really.
As far as the tax help is concerned, do you have someone that's helping the seniors in Grafton that have tax help? Can we reach out to the senior center and see if we're eligible for that?
I was trying to reach out to the only name I thought of off the top of my head was the Shine coordinator, because he helps people with Medicare, Medicaid, stuff like that, so. I did not think of,
Could be Lisa Kelly too, I mean, she's
Yeah.
in every.
yeah, she's got her hand in a lot of different things, yeah, so I did not think of that one.
I mean, it's a good alternative for this year, if we go forward with, for next year with something else.
Mm-hmm.
But that might give you an option for some folks.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and then, so that's one piece of it. We talked about, I don't wanna jump over what he's been working on with the badges and such, but, I did reach out to some folks that have it, WPI, ROTC, and I'm waiting to get feedback from them or answers back from them about participation. I didn't contact Worcester ROTC, because we had talked about, if we could have cadets, we'll call it, in uniform, lends a little more confidence or whatever to our event.
You know, what about Holy Cross? Isn't that naval ROTC?
Yes, Holy Cross is naval, that was gonna be the next step. So, there, that's where I'm at right now. Unfortunately, I wish I had more to bring to the table, but I don't.
So, kind of related to this topic, but totally out of the blue, I was contacted by a Grafton resident recently by the name of Walter Lasco, who, I don't know if I get this accreditation right, was formerly in the credit union industry and then moved into media relations. So he has a relationship with Homefield Credit Union and Carl Moisten. So he contacted me because they want to do a scam and financial thing for seniors.
Sure.
And they already set it up with Shannon at the senior center. And then, again, out of the blue, he says, we're also hoping we can work on a financial/scam program for veterans.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be kidding me. So, he's on the hook for the senior program,
Yeah.
and we'll see how that goes. And then the next thing he'll wanna jump into is probably attend one of these meetings and
Sure.
talk about what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to do presentation with an audience,
Mm-hmm.
recorded on video.
Sure.
So it literally would just by email fell on my lap. So if we get him, he was looking at a May-June timeline for the seniors. So maybe over the course of the summer or into the fall. I mean, I don't know how quickly he wants to move from one project to the next. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Mm-hmm.
the contact is there and he's willing to do the work. So it was, you know, it's
Yeah.
serendipitous. Is that the word?
You're right, yeah. What's the name again?
Walter Lasco, Laskos.
Okay.
If you look on Google, I think his website comes right up.
Oh, okay. Sure.
All right, anything else on meet or greet?
Not at the moment.
All right, Holly, you're up, we're going backwards. Got anything on food bank?
So, I know I'm not sure if they were in the minutes last time, but the representative for the Lady of Hope lead, she has moved on, so they're starting kind of a new veterans group there, so, basically in a nutshell, I've been going, pretty much through, it's not Father Leo, oh my goodness.
Anthony, Anthony?
Yes, thank you. To kind of get that coordinated, so we're looking right now, like the April timeframe is the best for there, if we're gonna set up boxes in the churches. I've already got the go with, like Unibank and then Koopmans and other areas we can place boxes. And then I know I took the note in regards to put it on that Facebook page, I got access, to buy nothing, so I'm just waiting to solidify those dates, but it's gonna be, the way the church wants to do it is they are okay with kind of running it ongoing, but they need just continuous collection.
Yeah.
And every week, so I'm also trying to get the Boy Scouts to kind of help out with that. And Austin, my son just got his license today, so that's gonna be part of his. So,
The churches do have, like an outreach and all the other stuff for collections, they got, all kinds of food stuff for various organizations that they do collect. So it's very important that if we have a food box at the churches, that we specifically pick it up every week.
yes,
If it overflows, it's gonna end up in one of those other ones.
Well, excuse me. If you had it there ongoing.
ongoing-ish, it's.
Right, okay. So is there potential, is what you're saying, that it would conflict with their, what they call Market Sunday,
Yes.
where they do this, I believe it's monthly,
Yep, so that's why when I say
so.
ongoing is we can keep it until they have an event, close it
Okay,
down,
right.
start it back up.
Yes,
All
So-
right, sure.
otherwise,
That sounds good.
otherwise, like I say, if our baskets fill up, it will go to one of those airlines,
Mhm.
you know?
So you're the point of contact,
Mm.
alright, so worst case scenario, they call you in a panic, just call me and, I mean, I can run up the hill and, right? I mean, how much could they possibly have in?
Yeah, it was we just lessons learned, so before, we got on a really good routine, but, you know, before it was over and that like,
Yep.
we just, the weekly, just depending on how many boxes, so, depending on the layout.
Hmm.
The churches fill up a lot faster than other areas, but, and then Stop and Shop, they're on the iffy side about it, whether we can do that, because they run a lot of like, food bank type stuff and fundraising, so.
But does it have to be in front of Stop and Shop? Couldn't it be like from the CVS? Or-
Yeah, so the areas I've personally gone to, Koopmans, Unibank, CVS, my goodness, the thrift shop as well.
Yeah.
Next to
Tino was-
Treasures, yes, thank
Tino
you.
was, if I-
Yeah, I forgot my list at home, all the ones I talked to, and they're on board with it, we just need to specify specific like timeframes for them, churches, like I said, ongoing, but they will just pretty much announce the church side during their bulletin. And then Unibank is, it's variable, but I wanna start like first week of April and kick it off. But the church is gonna be the big support, they've always been.
Sure.
So unless there's any other, I took a bunch of notes of places from the last time we talked about it, so, I didn't know if there was any other places I should go talk to.
Some of them you have to go to corporate on too, so like Stop and Shop.
Yeah, they said that they would definitely sponsor if we wanted to set up a table outside for like a day
Yeah.
to do it, but the box inside,
Yeah, yeah. Well, the table outside, last time we did it was very successful.
it was,
Right,
yes.
Bunch of stuff, filled your car
Is
up.
that a manned table or just
Yes.
just a table?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, yeah.
Does Carmen or the guys down in South Grafton, do they do any food drives in front of their
Front of a post, no.
posts?
No.
We should ask Carmen if,
Carmen can because it's just American Legion, that's all it is in the building.
Yeah.
We kinda got, VFW in South Grafton has the old South Grafton School, which the town rents.
Mm.
And it's not always available.
Yeah.
Okay,
but maybe we could set something up with Carmen, I mean.
Yeah.
You know, a one shot only and just say, hey, on this date in front of the Legion, We're gonna be there.
Most of the time, the VFW, most time it's on Sunday.
Hmm.
Okay, they're there from like 10 to like 2 o'clock on Sundays. Other than that, there's really nobody there.
Hmm.
They do have a place where you go down and get a cold one once in a while. But it's mostly members and really no outsiders come in or even come in the driveway.
Mhm.
But I'll take an action, I can do, I'll reach out and look
Yeah.
for options for the
Yeah.
different posts.
cause I'm thinking that if we promoted it well enough, if they wanted to sit inside and have a cold one, as you put it, we could man the table, I mean,
I can do that too.
yes, you know.
Yeah. I'll make a connection with Stan stuff there and get in touch with you.
Yeah,
So just for, if we did a table and I was setting up a few dates in mind, is there any preference, like weekend, weekdays, or
weekends,
soon, yeah, I would,
what time of year was it when we did it with Jim?
Spring?
yeah, that was
Yeah,
definitely,
spring.
it was, yep, cause I remember it was after April vacation-ish,
it was-
yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't hot, it wasn't cool.
Yeah, it fits your April
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah.
So-
If you're gonna talk to Carmen, could we maybe tag on to a future date of a meat raffle?
Hmm.
Because not to be imposing on members, but they advertise the meat raffle
Hmm.
on Facebook, stuff like that.
Right.
If we could, again, tag it to say, hey, February 23rd or whatever it is, we're be outside table sitting,
Mm.
whatever, food drive. And, oh, by the way, there's a meat raffle, or meat raffle, oh, by the way, there's a food drive,
Mm.
however we could.
Yeah.
Pair it.
Yeah, I guess the first thing I'd ask him is, do you guys do a food drive?
Yeah.
And then if you do you want us to come and man it for you? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can sit beside and have a cold one.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Mhm.
Alright, anything else on food drives?
So just, I know food drive, but we also include the toiletries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once, twice, okay. Veterans Welcome Package, Lucas, you're up.
So I have a rough template of what the package should have in it. So we got like welcome letter. All we got to work on is like a personalized message expressing our gratitude and service and welcome to the community. I'm working on like a nice paragraph and what that'll look like. And then have another page that, offered overview of services, so like detailed information about services and support available to veterans within the community, any healthcare assistance in town, employment and career resources in town, housing and financial assistance programs, educational opportunities, counseling and mental health services, and any recreational and social activities. And then also have, probably like in a card, more than like a piece of paper, but like contact information of like key personnel or departments or organizations. On here I put veteran liaison officer, which I forgot what his,
VSO?
yeah. And then like if there's a benefits coordinator, any housing services, employment assistance. So then instead of having something that's like a piece of paper, that could be like a magnet that they just on their fridge or whatever. And then I put important documents, checklists of important documents and paperwork you may need to access benefits and services. So if we know like, the gym, like if there's a special paperwork that needs to be filled out to sign up as a veteran, like if we can get copies of that, put that in there, and they don't even need to go, they just need to fill it out and bring it. An event calendar for the year, and then maybe, this one's hard, I put it in there because eventually there might be something like frequently asked questions that people may ask, like you'd have a thing in there like, oh, where is this? Oh, here's an answer, and they get it. And then a feedback form, and then any additional assistance, and then personalized assistance. I put personalized assistance, but it's gonna be kind of hard because we might not know who they are up front. But I put it in there, and then that's kind of it. So right now I'm just working on getting like the welcome letter verbiage down. And once we have that, then we can start like.
It's gonna be like a form letter front end, that
Yeah.
you just put the name into it.
That, or we just make it generic, like welcome service member or something.
Yeah.
And then they could easily just get sent out. Like, the only thing I'm trying to think is like, do we do it as like a, I'm trying to think what the term is, like a book? Like a, what I'm talking about?
Leaflets, like separate pieces versus a book.
Yeah, it's like, do you give them separate ones, or do you give it in like one big thing that they can like flip through?
I think if you wanted to, say, not expedite it, but making it a pamphlet or book would take us longer to get to finalize.
Right.
If we did a series of letters or leaflets, that's a lot easier to compile.
Yeah.
And then we could even add, so let's say we put a package together, it's got, say, 5 leaflets in it. You just don't seal the envelope. You give it to the VSO, it sits in his office, and the next meeting or a couple meetings later, hey, this is a better idea. If you only have 10, 20 sitting in the office, so you print up another 10, the new idea, add that to the list.
Yeah.
If you do a booklet, you gotta go to print, you gotta do all this other stuff.
That's true.
We could pay for 100 plastic folders,
Yes,
and then
Yes.
they could just stuff the
Yeah,
folder.
that's a good one.
yeah,
My thing is if they're like loose papers, they're just gonna get like.
Well, I agree with you.
But if we could get like a folder.
fold it up with a clip tab or something on top of it, so if anything put in there,
Yeah.
it's not gonna just.
And then we could
fall
make
off.
it like, I don't know if we can get custom ones, we could get one with like all the, like branches, logos on it, so
Yeah.
then it doesn't feel like it's just Army or Navy, it's like, no, it's got everybody on it, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
minus the Space Force.
Do you have a contact who's a realtor?
I don't, but
The reason why I ask is, you could ask a realtor if you were making a welcome package, what would you put in it?
Yeah,
And then jump off from there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it might be redundant, some of it, might be,
Does the town
Useful.
have a welcome package? I don't know.
for people
used
moving
to.
to town.
Years ago.
Town of Grafton used to a long time
We
ago.
used to.
I can't say, I don't know.
Can't,
It was kinda like an address book.
Yeah, it was catch all, it had all kinds of phone numbers
Yeah.
and contact.
Coupons for
information.
pizza, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, check with Kelly and see, with, what's her face in town hall, see if she's going.
You say that on camera, what's her face?
Candy, town clerk.
yeah.
All right, anything else on, the welcome package? Okay. So I'm up with the Jim Memorial Walk. I reached out to Todd at Anzio Pizza, so he's on board. He wants to know financially how it would work. I immediately said, well, 50-50, and he said, well, we'll talk about it. I said, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So, he just wants to know, tell me when, tell me where, and, you know, and I said, the great thing about it is that if the truck is out front, not only would people be here for the event, but people would see the truck and pull in
Yeah.
and buy pizza, so.
Yeah.
So he's all set. I told him that I'd keep him in the loop as we progressed. And then, today I also reached out to Representative Moradian and asked if he would, support and promote. And I gave him the same spiel, as we get more details, as we go further down the road, I'll keep him in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to have a conversation with Chief Crapo just to touch base and make sure he does or doesn't want us to have a detail of some kind. And then the last contact that I could think of was talk to Dr. Cummings to say, hey, we're planning to walk on school property.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the main contacts that I came up with, so I'm willing to take any input if anybody can think of anybody I may have overlooked. And then, of course, we'll have to announce it to the select board and get them to announce it during their meetings, and so.
I think when we get closer to, and we'd have to kind of maybe walk the course, so to speak, and.
I've already done that, but
Yeah, all right, well, do you feel like you're gonna need like signage, like arrows and things of that nature, or?
I didn't think so, but knowing how humans react to things, well, maybe.
Anything requiring yellow tape?
And then, what about, staging, not staging per se, so you're gonna have you mentioned possibly an inflatable start-stop or start-finish line.
Either an inflatable start and stop,
Mhm.
or just a simple frame
A
with balloons on it,
balloon,
just
a
something
balloon
that
on it,
clearly
something,
marks
right.
it, you know,
Yeah.
this is, I think the inflatable start and stop thing goes along with the tag on your bid, and people think it's a race, and I'm trying not to, I'm trying to
Okay, so
steer
then we just
toward.
make it, okay, so then we just make it.
But I mean, I have to, that's the part of the homework that I have to kind of solve, it's
Right.
like, you know, can I get an inflatable arch,
Kentucky Derby Tournament of Roses.
red, white, and blue, you know,
Right,
and
yeah.
then, you know, and it doesn't
Exactly.
have anything to do with the race, you know,
Yeah.
it's just,
Does,
Okay.
Dr. Cummings have anything, in advance, that might get in our way with this?
that's why I have to have a
Oh,
conversation with
yeah.
them.
We should
I'm
have-
sure there's
we
a
should have
calendar out there
calendar.
somewhere that says what's going on in October next year, but, you know,
So we can lock our date and then they can play around.
you don't wanna do it when it's homecoming, you don't wanna do
Oh,
it
yeah,
when
no.
it's, you know, championship football, so.
Mm-hmm.
This one puzzles me. Chairman's attendance at the next meeting.
Yeah, he put it on.
He put it on the agenda, so
Again, it must have been a typo, because he had it on the end of last time.
nobody's had a conversation with Stoney telling us that he's not gonna be here next month.
No, not yet.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. Yep.
What's this, kids deployment line though?
That's from Mike. Mike Molesky had that, so we'll skip over that and carry it on to the next agenda, because that was something we discussed for National Night Out.
That was like a little obstacle course or whatever for
Yeah.
the kids.
Because if we could drag the kids over there, and then hopefully the parents, and then so on and so
So,
on.
were we tying that to National Night Out, or
I-
our meet and greet?
The original idea, I thought, was National Night Out, if I'm wrong, correct me.
I thought we were trying to do something like that for meet and greet.
It doesn't make any difference to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, National Night Out works out because they'll all be here anyway.
why?
Yeah.
But
I think, and I'm not saying no, I'm just saying with National Night Out, they've got the dunk tank and a few other things already going on, we'd be trying to, you know.
well, we would be tagging along with it. We wouldn't be like.
Give them another option.
Yeah.
right here.
So,
Okay.
the reason why I thought we discussed National Night Out was because we had talked about Andy and Stoney being in that tent over on the other
Yeah.
side of the building, and that they were kinda out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And then, if
Okay.
we had our own tent and our own table, we could put them right there on the front lawn.
Yeah.
And then, the idea of having the deployment line was, everybody's getting free stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So if the kids started at this end of the table,
Yeah.
and when they got to the other end of the table, they got a bag full of stuff that they're really gonna be excited about.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so that was one part of the conversation, and then, no obstacle course.
Okay.
They're just going down the line getting free stuff.
Okay, yeah,
Then at your meet and greet, you could
okay,
see how successful it is or isn't, and then at the meet and greet, say, okay, now here's the deployment line, and then at the end, you could add in your obstacle course, and
okay.
that's just the way I remember. it.
Yeah, all right. So looking at National Night Out in the real estate, okay, you got SWAT team set up with their vehicle. I'm trying to picture in my mind what was out front. Did they have the state police dog?
I don't remember state police dogs being here last year.
Yeah, they
Get the two
SWAT
dogs.
vehicle was over there, I think,
Right.
in the barn,
Yes.
in the,
Yeah.
the building. Dunkin' Donuts and,
Yeah, they're like right
they
here.
were always on that
Yeah.
corner.
Right.
Yeah.
The disc jockey was over on that side,
Yeah.
the two banks/credit unions were right here on the front lawn.
Mhm.
So,
Where-
location doesn't really concern me, I mean, because I mean, the chief just comes along and tells people where they're gonna set up.
Yeah.
And,
Mhm.
and I don't get in his way, I mean, as long as he leaves the portico open for us to do the broadcast,
So
so.
in fact, if we're gonna have a tent this year versus just taking whatever is available in his tent,
Mhm.
then he's probably gonna try to fit us in where we're gonna get the flow, but not get overrun.
Well, maybe if we approach him early enough.
Yeah.
And tell him where we would appreciate that.
Well, when, someday, when you're in the neighborhood, you
Yeah.
wanna just kinda walk the property and see where you'd like to be, just let me know, they don't usually fill that front lawn area.
Okay,
You know? I mean, I don't remember more than 2 or 3 setups there last year, so.
Okay.
And we're not talking about a 50-foot table, we're talking about,
Talking 10 by 10.
Yeah,
With,
like maybe two tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
So
you could do 2 lines, yeah. And then hopefully we would, brand it enough so, courtesy of Veterans Advisory Committee, and
okay.
then should the topic come up in conversation, well, there you go, you got them on the hook,
Yeah.
Right.
And, Lucas, you could, because we're talking August with this night out thing, if you have anything from your handouts or whatever,
Yeah.
then,
Mhm.
that, people that, are new to the town that night, so to speak.
So we get,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Free handouts that you would bring home from Native Labs, or?
I mean, they probably got some that you can easily grab.
a full, yeah. All right, well, I, as the wheels are spinning, I'm thinking that if we're gonna do, well, we don't have any military recruitment stuff like that at these night out things, no.
No, I've never seen anybody. I mean, the closest was, the National Guard was here one year with a truck or two, and
Yeah.
that was about it.
Yeah.
Was it here or was it the big truck thing?
I think they did both.
Oh, okay, cause I remember
Yeah,
seeing one.
remember they-
the big
Yeah,
truck.
it's almost never the same, every year,
Yeah.
it's almost never the same.
I would say the only thing that comes, that I saw like almost every year is, was it Inlac? The
Yeah.
SWAT guys?
Yeah.
Hmm.
They were here the last like I
Yeah.
think 3 times, but
Yeah.
that big truck, that wasn't here last year, I think it was here the year before.
Where are we with, purchase of a tent, and all the other stuff, have we decided, or have we made a purchase, or now that we got a budget?
We haven't
now we can plan
purchased
on it?
anything yet,
Can we put that on agenda, so?
so we make sure because I guess we wanna find out, are we just buying a generic white tent, or are we gonna try and brand it?
Yeah.
Or, no, I'm sorry, I take that back, didn't Stoney say that getting a skirt that was
A
branded
skirt,
was
yeah,
cheaper
yes.
than brand? Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
so,
But, you can buy a paper one, El Cheapo, and throw it away, or you can buy a cloth one and use it every year.
Mhm.
you know.
alright, I'll just touch base with Stoney and make sure that he and I are on the same page.
Mhm.
Because I haven't talked to him in a while either. Okay. All right, so we're done with deployment line until Mike gets here again, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And nobody knows where Stony is.
We're gonna.
You got the last word if you want it.
Okay, I do, well, not necessarily for this committee, but in the same light with veterans, that the other committee we have, that, soldiers and sales, with regard to the plaque, okay? Mr. Stone told me that, we're getting ready to, the town is getting ready to look at the quotes, et cetera, and they wanna make a decision on who's gonna make this plaque. I have the one, decision with that this, either this committee or the other committee has to make, and I need a cutoff date on the date we're gonna keep all the further veterans going into this process for the Vietnam Memorial plaque, okay? Once we decide on a vendor, and we start doing, graphics, I think we stop doing
Yes.
any other research on who's gonna be added to this at that time.
Yeah.
Okay?
So when I talk to Stony, I will ask him to put that topic at the top of the
Next one.
trustees, so we'll have,
trustees.
because, we don't wanna get
Right.
caught,
Now, what I'm understanding, what Stoney told me, he says, he wants me, because I've worked with a lot of these, vendors before.
Mhm.
He says, look, you work with them, a lot of us have heard of them. What is your decision, who do you wanna have do it, okay? Ordinarily, he gives you your six vendors to, the quotes to the six vendors to the town administrator, he puts a little thing aside, they decide who's gonna do it. Sometimes it's the cheapest, which means you're not gonna get what we want. And I have, some information today that just blew my mind. Someone that had given us a quote in November for 11,200 is up to 16,500.
it doesn't surprise me at all.
$5,500 increase and another $200 increase on the delivery.
Hmm.
And they do not mount. None of these vendors will mount it. Not a problem because the town has offered to mount it, provided it's hidden mounts.
Hmm.
Okay, there's no through the plaque connection to
Yeah.
a wall. Because if you do it that way, you're looking for somebody to unscrew it, and you have a plaque laying on the ground, because they could get to the screws. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
I have, I made the 6 contacts this morning. One from, an international, foundry from, I think it's actually international foundry from someplace in Florida. They called me and gave me a quote. I never solicited from them, someone solicited for us to them. They're saying about 9,500. Okay, the one I'm looking at specifically right at this point is Crown, they're the only one that has basically held their price. They haven't gone crazy, and the guy told me, he says, we're not in this to make a lot of money on it. If we can make our expenses, we're happy.
Yeah.
We make our big dollars on trophies and everything else. This is big, this is one big thing, yeah, we'll do one big thing a year, and we would give it to you for basically 10 flat. Okay? I have to see what the rest of them come in at. I will make, my report to Stony when, and you guys also, I'll include you in the email as when I get the other 3. Okay?
I feel like you go with a known entity, all right, Crown,
Crown's a big one.
emblem and badge or something like that.
Yes.
They've been around forever.
Yep.
And it's not something like a piece of a fire truck that we have to go to bid.
No.
So, we just go with a known entity and that's it.
And they're local and not gonna, this is gonna be up on a wall and with their name on it. They're not gonna screw it up. Okay?
All right,
So,
so that's on next month's agenda for trustees of soldiers and sailors.
Good.
Stony has us scheduled for the next meeting of Veterans Advisory for Thursday, March 21st, 7 PM, right here. Everybody, I assume, is good with that?
Mhm.
And And then, we only need one more business to conduct. It's adjournment.
Oh, motion to adjourn? Second?
Is that a second?
Okay.
All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Okay,
You.
Me?
we're done.